This is going to be the most important video I've ever posted in my life. And it's going to be the most important video. Oh, that couch is still wet from this morning. I spilled something on my couch and it's still wet. This is going to be the most important video I've ever posted because it's going to bring so much clarity to people and help you understand why fat loss is the hardest thing on this planet, but also the most stupidest, simplest thing on this planet. Why some people struggle so deeply with it. I did early on until I understood kind of this concept, and why some people make it look so simple and it's effortless for them. And also in this video I'm going to explain how to rewire your thinking when it comes to fat loss and to build the best mindset towards it, because at the end of the day all fat loss is just a mindset. It's just, do you want it or not? Because a lot of people say they want it, but then their actions don't represent that they actually want it. So in fact they truly don't really want it, and they're just lying to themselves, which causes anxiety, which causes them to feel fake as a person, and then they just spiral, and then all they do is just repeat the same actions that got them overweight and unhappy, and then they just keep redoing those actions because it's what causes them reassurance and what causes them, oh, okay, I'm actually fine. You know what? Like, let me just do what I'm comfortable doing, which is reinforcing yourself and doing the actions and habits that, in fact, keep you overweight. I don't know why fat is such a weird word to use. It's like I don't like saying it. It almost makes me feel like I'm like offending somebody, but like it's not. Like it's just, you're either skinny, fat, or muscular. Like, don't take it any like way that I'm saying this, any offense, because I'm not saying it in an offensive way. I just want to make that clear, because I don't know, for some reason subconsciously I'm feeling like it's offensive, but it shouldn't be, right? It's not offensive. It's just a reality. It's a fact. You're either broke or rich or middle class. That's a fact too, right? You're either hairy or hairless. That's another fact. You're either a girl or a boy. Like, you're either fat, skinny, or a thing. So anything I say, do not take offense, because I'm just using it as like the best word that comes to my mind for description. So, when we were first born, it all comes down to birth. As funny as it is. Everything kind of comes down to like childhood. But anyway, when we were first born, our whole life, we have been just told what to do. We have just been told what to do by our parents, teachers, by our, subordinates, by people that we work with, our colleagues, our bosses, everything. And you grow up, your parents say, do this, don't do this, go to this school, don't do that school, study this, don't study that. So we are, right from the beginning, subconsciously just being programmed to obey what other people say, right? We're not thinking for ourselves, we're just being told what to do. And then you obey and you're like, okay, yeah, sounds good. Don't touch that, don't do that. There's some kids that rebel, and for a while they rebel a little bit sometimes, and like the rebellious ones are usually the most successful ones. If they smarten up and if they get their shit straight, if they just go down and just do drugs and drink alcohol their whole life, then of course, you know where that's gonna get you. But that's not the point of this video. The rebellers are the most successful and get what they want because they learn to think for themselves. They don't allow other people to skewer their thoughts. Now you go to school, right? Your teacher says, sit down, listen, don't talk, listen this way, don't do this, do this, don't do that career, it's not good, do this career. And then again, you're just being programmed and subconsciously taught to listen to what other people tell you to do. You might make your own decisions like, oh, okay, do I want to brush my teeth? But those are so minute. Those are not like life-changing, altering decisions that you're making. Then you go to work. You start working, or you go to university, You might, be studying something that you absolutely hate just because your parents told you to study it. Or you might go to, university, or you might get into a job right away because, your parents said, don't go to university, it's a waste of time, don't get an education, just go into the trades. And then you become a construction worker and whatever. Some people love it. Some people hate it. I'm not saying what's right and wrong, I'm just saying you know how you feel about what you're doing deep down inside, and I'm not one to judge. So you know how you feel about what you're doing. You're not lying to anybody else but yourself. So, I don't want to keep going on because I want to get to the point because this is very important. Then, what happens? Okay, you go to work, you're listening to your boss says do this, your subordinate says don't do this, I want to see this, I want to see that, etc. The whole point is, throughout your entire life, you're being told what to do and what not to do, and just being pointed into a direction, and you're being given and told things. So when it comes down to make a decision for yourself, you don't know how to listen to yourself because you've been brought up in a society that you listen to, that you answer to. And when it comes to a decision you want to make for yourself, you don't know how. Let me explain. Fat loss is the most difficult thing on this planet because people are weak up here. That's it. I want to say that one more time. Fat loss is difficult because you are mentally weak. And if you take offense to that, and if you feel some sort of way, that should represent you something. That should tell you something because I just stroked and hurt your ego a little bit. If you're fat and you want to be fat, that's a different story. But if you're fat and you don't want to be fat, you're mentally weak. Period. Now, why? Fat loss is so hard because it's biological. We all want to eat. We're just biologically hardwired this way. But it's also so simple because all we have to do is just say no. Not eat. Not put that extra food in our mouth. Control what we put into our body. But most people don't know how to follow through on the decisions that they've made. So if you made a decision, okay, I want to lose weight, I don't want to be fat anymore. You don't know how to stick with that decision because you've never made a life-altering decision in your life. You've just been told what school to go to, told who to marry, told what to, where to live, never made any big changes in your life. All these things. Told what job to get. So when it comes down to a decision you want to make for yourself, you don't know how to follow through and follow your word. Because once again, it takes a certain level of mental bandwidth that is not taught to us because we are not taught to think for ourselves. We're taught to think and obey. So how do you get out of this? Well, first of all, watching this video is going to help you. But second of all, and most importantly, it's make the conscious effort to notice and write things down that you want. Okay, I don't want to be fat anymore. Okay, why not? Why? Just keep answering why? Until you finally get to the answer. Because I don't like the way that I feel, I don't like the way that I'm insecure about myself, I don't like the way that I look, and I don't like the way, and just everything, the more things that you write down, the better. And then those are the reasons that anytime you want to give up, anytime that you want to, not keep pushing forward or go overeat on your food that you're supposed to eat for the day, or eat something besides whole foods that are going to help you lose weight, help you, keep that energy high, help you perform at your best. You go back into that book and you say, okay, this is why I started. Same reason for, people trying to apply for, to become doctors or start a business. Okay, why did you start in the first place? Why are you starting that business? Why do you want to start this business? Okay, because I want to help people, like for me, for example, I want to help people get in shape. I want to help people lose fat. I want to help people get into the best shape of their life, feel the best, have the best confidence, look at themselves and be truly happy with how they feel and who they are as a person, and not feel like they're in a different body. Right? And then once you have those things, you just never stop because you have so many whys stacked against you. And a big enough why will come over anyhow. So I want you to, reflect. How did this video make you feel? What do you want to change in your life? What do you really want? Not what your parents want, not what your grandparents want, not what your wife wants. What you want. What do you want? Write down why you want it, and then stop at nothing until you achieve it. Because that's how you find fulfillment, that's how you find happiness, and that's how you become a man of your word. I love you guys. Subscribe if you're new. Hopefully this video brought you some new perspectives and joy. Sorry if it was a little harsh. I'm not usually harsh. I like to smile. I love you guys. Subscribe, create more than you consume, serve others, love everyone. See you in the next one. Peace.